pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. This is a friendly celebration.
I don't much like the way you celebrate.
I hear you.
Are you in New Mexico?
Yeah, I'm just south of Albuquerque.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So you're out taking a little break and videoing in.
I stopped to gas up and get connected to you.
Good job. So how's the roads today?
Perfect, beautiful, almost no traffic.
All right, that's good. Yeah, that south of Albuquerque is usually pretty quiet.
Yeah, if you're familiar with it, Lematar is where I am.
So you expect good weather?
Yeah, been beautiful.
Good.
Kind of cloudy, not bright, but no wind.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah. It can be kind of nasty in Santa Fe sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whenever you see windsocks on the highway, tells you something.
That's a clue, right? Well, welcome to the 1-year anniversary show, Zach.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't going to miss it.
Yeah, well, sure, that's great. I haven't seen it. Nobody else has tried to get in yet, so we'll just kibitz here and I see that Katie Hobbs decided to throw her hat in the ring. That's a big surprise, huh?
Well, I think we're all going to get a big surprise about Katie Hobbs.
Yeah, something coming.
Well, let's just say something's already happened.
Oh, good. Okay, well, I hope it's bad for her.
You know, she has an identical twin sister, right?
I heard that, but I didn't know. I didn't know if that was true or not. I have heard that. So that is true, huh?
That's what I've been told.
Yeah. Mm.
That
I
may
know
be who we're seeing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. She's completely changed her look, right?
Yeah, well, I try not to look at her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but before she ran for governor, she had pink hair and half of her head shaved off, and I mean, now she looks all fluffy and female-y and nice. So she's really changed since she became governor. So maybe you're right. Maybe we're seeing her sister. And so where's the old Katie?
I can only speculate.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
But I think this is going to be an interesting race. I can't figure out why David Schweikert's getting into it.
Yeah, I just heard that today. I don't get that either.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, why would he interfere with Andy Biggs running for governor? I don't get that either. Yeah.
Well, there's absolute. I don't think anybody can beat Andy Biggs.
I don't either. No. And yeah, Schweiker needs to stay in the House. He's doing some good things there, although he does it on the quiet. He's he's really good with the numbers and the budget and trying to keep the Republicans trying to keep them under control, as far as spending. So
yeah, it's such an odd development. I wonder why we don't know the reason.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Jeff is trying to get in here, so let me get him in here.
Turn him off.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You
I'm
made it
on.
back home?
Yeah, made it back home and
That's good.
had to be on. Um,
Zach's on the road and he's into Mexico. So
oh, nice.
yeah, he stopped and he's going up to the big NRA, the NRA place up by
Oh,
Raton in
yeah.
Mexico.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they're going to have the. Are you going to be involved, Zach, with the shooting, or are you just observing?
No, I'm staff.
Oh, okay, good. So, but you've done that before, I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I know you've competed before. So
A lot of
anyway,
fun.
yeah. So how was the trip, Jeff?
Oh, it was good. I'll send you a pic or two. When the two hurricanes converged, we had quite a fun surf zone. Let's put it
Rough
that way.
ocean, right? Yeah, it's been really bad. A lot of erosion in Daytona Beach. Um, yeah. So
Out of 15 guys, not one of them made it out through the surf zone on the first attempt.
oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty
And
rough then.
so it took a number of tries, and then they did make it out once, and then the next time nobody made it again. It was just suck your energy out, but all good experience.
You weren't here last
So
week, so I announced this is our 1 year anniversary show.
that is
Um,
wonderful. Yeah.
yeah, so
Well, Don,
yeah,
I'll be, even though I missed last week, I had my daughter come home from her mission today, so I'm going to be on for probably half the time and
okay, that's
get
fine.
back from her. Yeah.
Understand. Welcome, Ken Bennett. Hi, Ken.
Hi guys, sorry I'm late.
You're not late. You're good. Um, we got Zach from New Mexico, and Jeff is here and back in town, and you and I haven't seen Paul yet, so still waiting for
To
him.
make it. Yeah. So did you get any of that hurricane or was it too far north for you,
No,
Don?
we've just had wind, and we've had quite a bit of rain every day, but not not hurricane or tropical storm type
Right.
rain, but rain. It's
Yeah,
rained
it
almost
didn't,
every day.
I have to tell you, it didn't hit Virginia inland at all. It was really just the surf zone, just the
Yeah,
ocean
yeah.
that got tumbled up.
So I have a few things on our list today, current event kind of things.
Right?
Zach and I were talking about before you guys came on about Hobbs jumping on the campaign trail. She's going to run for governor again, so that's probably a big surprise to you guys. Uh, Zach thinks she's got a twin sister, and we're not seeing the real Katie Hobbs. So, and I
Well, I
told him,
don't.
I said, a couple of years ago, or before she ran, she used to have pink hair and half her head was shaved. And all of a sudden, she's got that real fluffy female look. So maybe we are seeing her sister now. I don't know. Huh? Who knows? A lot of these
4 years
doubles running around.
4 years ago, she didn't run for governor; she hid for governor. So
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So, any comments about that, you guys? No surprise. Bring it on.
no,
Now,
I expected it.
yeah. Did you hear Schweikert's running for governor?
That's the befuddling thing. I don't
I know.
get
It's
that at
exactly
all.
what Zach said. Zach just got in his car and he's got his sunglasses on and he's befuddled too. We can't, and I don't get that at all. I don't know why you'd want to challenge Andy Biggs on the Republican side. So
Well, I think Andy's going to get it tied up pretty good,
I would think so. Yeah.
in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He's,
I think it's going to be a horse race again.
Do
Um,
you really, Ken?
yeah, yeah. I,
with,
I don't
You
think
mean
it,
as far as the primary goes or the general?
the primary. No, I think the
Oh,
primary will still be competitive.
Do you really? Okay.
With the lady that barely lost 4 years ago to Carrie
Robeson.
Lake,
Yeah,
Robeson.
Robeson.
She's going to
Yeah,
have.
Karen Robeson.
They both got Trump's endorsement. I think Biggs has the upper hand, but Robeson's releasing
No,
polls. Of course, you can make a poll say whatever you want to say. It depends on who you call and what question you ask. But she's releasing polls saying that she's ahead. So
Well, Turning Point is behind Biggs, and I do think that's going to make a difference this time around. I really do.
Yeah, that's going to be
Turning Point action, anyway.
yeah.
I'm going to actually I was asked to do a speech for Biggs on November 22nd. I haven't heard the details of that, but I've known him a long time since we arm wrestled over the Article 5 debate, which he is not a pro Article 5 guy, which of course I think he's totally mistaken on that. But other than that, we're in line on most of the things.
Did it have to do, Jeff, with the compact with America?
It did, yeah.
See, I know when that bill came up in the Senate, he threw it in the drawer. Wouldn't let it get
Too
voted
happy
on.
with him about Article 5, and but listen.
But he
he's a
invited you anyway, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I've supported him. I've done other things out there for him. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, let me tell everybody we're this is our 1 year anniversary show. So somehow we stumbled through a year of YouTube videos, and happy to be here with everybody. Thanks to Ken and Jeff and Zack for being on, and we'll see if Paul joins us while we go along here. Some other current events this week. I don't know if you guys got to see the Antifa panel yesterday that was President Trump hosted. They had a big, I guess you call it kind of a symposium about Antifa, and they had a bunch of the reporters that have been reporting on those people for years, and got some of their eyewitness testimony. He had Pam Bondi there, and he had Kash Patel there, and some other people. So it was very interesting. And he was handing out assignments left and right. And
Is that when Marco Rubio walked in and whispered in his ear about the peace deal?
About the peace deal, right? Yeah, yeah. He walked in and he had a piece of paper in his hand. And he sat down and he kind of looked over, and they looked at each other behind Pam Bondi, and then he handed him the piece of paper, and then Trump called him over for a minute, and he whispered in his ear, Rubio did, and that they had an agreement. So yeah, it was good.
I guess one of the reporters got close enough with their camera to snap a picture of what was written on the paper.
Oh my gosh.
Which is, I think, inappropriate, but
yeah.
It said, apparently it said, close to a deal with Israel, Hamas, probably need to come up with a Truth Social announcement very soon.
Well, there you go. And he did. So, yeah.
And I love the fact that he quoted Jesus when he did release his Truth Social post about peace between Israel and Hamas. He finished by quoting Jesus on the Mount of Olives.
I wanted to show you guys.
Wouldn't know what he said.
He said, "Blessed are the peacemakers," which is right out of his Sermon on the Mount.
Hello, Paul. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Sorry, my wife had an ATM card disaster that I was trying to take care of.
Oh, okay.
But I'm here now.
That's a priority. So welcome to
take your wife's ATM card away too, huh, Paul?
No, she tried to get some money out of the machine, and the machine ate her card and didn't give her any money.
Oh my!
So did exactly what you wanted it to do.
Yeah. Well done. I'm gonna have to use you on my situations.
That's like the wife that came home and said her credit card had been stolen, and her husband should shut it down. And a month later, she saw the bill, and she said, "Why didn't you shut it down?" He said, "Because the guy who stole it spends less than you do."
So I'm going to show you guys what's on the Jerusalem Post today, if you can bear with me here.
I don't know if you heard, Letitia James just got indicted.
Yeah, I did hear that. Paul. Yeah, I did hear that. Can you guys all see that?
Not yet. I see a
black screen. But
is it coming up?
Not yet.
Oh.
to enter. Oh,
Says Israeli government votes to approve Gaza deal after hours-long debate. They had
Well,
quite an argument. And there were a couple of guys. Their version of our Rand Paul voted against it. So, but I think they're going to approve it. Can't see it, huh?
no,
there
now
we
it
go.
just came up.
Okay. Boy, I wonder what that delay is.
Hmm.
So that's the front page of the Jerusalem Post. And then there's a lot of speculation about who gave in what to make the deal, et cetera. So,
Well, I think we all have to remember that what they agreed to was the first phase
right.
of the peace deal.
Mhm.
And the toughest parts of the whole peace deal were not the first phase. The toughest parts is whether Hamas will de-arm themselves
Right.
and relinquish political control of Gaza. That is still a big question, and I'm not sure that's going to go as favorably as they're agreeing to release the hostages that they have for about 10 or 20 times as many as the Israelis have agreed to release Palestinians that they have. So, I mean, this is great news, but I don't think this is a done deal yet.
No, it's not. You got a ways to go. And I think it's 2,000 Palestinians that they're going to release.
I heard 1,400, and we're talking about 40 or 50 hostages, half of whom have been confirmed as deceased,
right?
That Hamas is going to release, and as you say, maybe it's 2,000. I thought I heard 1,400. That Israel's going to release. So I'm not surprised that Hamas has done step one, but step 2 and 3 is relinquishing their arms and turning over the political control of Gaza to an independent group. And I think it's yet to be seen that they're going to do that at all.
And it's going to be hard to confirm that Hamas has disarmed.
Good point.
Because you can't tell A from B. They all wear the same sheets, and what they got under their sheet may or may not be a firearm. So it's going to be real hard to police that and ensure that they really do it. And of course, being in the region they're in, it doesn't take long to run across the border and leave them in Jordan or Egypt or I mean, they can keep a whole stockpile. They've got tunnels that the Israelis I don't think have found yet. So,
well, that's what they spent all that money on, building those tunnels.
Yeah, right.
So they got an underground city. Under all the entrances are under the hospitals and the schools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're tricky little devils. So since Jeff's not going to spend a lot of time with us today, or spend half the time going to see his daughter, and
Jeff, what did you mean? Your daughter got home from a mission. What does that mean?
Well, she was down in Argentina.
Is she are you LDS?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't have the tattoo on his forehead like you do.
That's right.
Apparently not.
Yeah, she just got back from Argentina East.
Good. Down there 2 years?
Well, no, she is 18 months for the ladies.
18 months. Okay.
Yep. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. She's probably real happy to be home.
Oh, everybody's thrilled. Yeah.
Did you serve a mission, Jeff?
I did. Yep.
Where'd you go?
Canada, Montreal.
Canada. I was
Guam.
I was southern
Ken
Japan.
went to Japan. Yeah, Ken went to Japan.
Yeah, my son-in-law went to Japan. It's really interesting when you have a gringo speaking Japanese in Tucson. And then we've met a couple people from Japan, and they kind of look twice and say, what was that?
Yeah.
That was my first experience in Hong Kong was little Chinese people with an English accent.
Is that right? Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Were you English speaking or were you French?
Oh, French. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep up with it.
So what I wanted to bring up was while Jeff was in with us was all the discussion about getting troops into Chicago or Portland and all the hand wringing that's going on by some of the judges and et cetera, et cetera. But we're talking about a constitutional thing here, and wanted to get Jeff's input. And I do have, I did pull up the Insurrection Act that I can put on the screen, but it seems to me if Trump uses the Insurrection Act, particularly, I think it's paragraph 252, he's got a pretty clear path to do what he wants to do. But um, let's get everybody's opinion on that, because he wants to put the National Guard into these places to protect, number one, to protect ICE, but will
Right.
it go farther than that? I don't know. But ICE is certainly under siege in Portland and Chicago, and that needs to be stopped. And so, any comments from anybody?
Yeah, well, I'm on short. I could teach a seminar on this, and I used to. I've taught the National Guard around the country on their constitutional duties, whether they're called up by the state under Article 32 or under Article 10. And of course, President Trump is trying to call them up under Article 10. But we have to be careful here. There's a lot of nuances, and there's a lot of tradition in American history that we want to be real careful that we don't want to cross some lines. If you read, what happened was I was on James T. Harris on Tuesday, and I don't think I made him very happy, because the bottom line is, look, you've got to meet certain thresholds. And we don't want this to become regular. Of course, the founders were worried that an executive could call out the United States Armed Forces, and that's in effect what the National Guard is adopted into if the president calls them out. And a standing army is something that they were very worried about. But I would encourage all of our watchers and listeners to read the 31-page opinion by the judge who shot down Trump about him wanting to go into Portland. Now, things can quickly change, and there are some subtle differences between being, in my opinion, constitutionally able to send in troops and constitutionally not able to. So I know we've got limited time, but we need to remember, look, the cause of the Civil War, people say, is the argument over the extension of slavery, not slavery itself, but the extension of slavery. But the first shots of the Civil War were fired because of the Lincoln administration protecting government property and wanting to be able to keep the rule of law in the import and export taxes. So that, but that was when a whole state was basically rebelling. So a lot of things, I'm going to go through the easy things first, but then with the Insurrection Act and also Article 10, we need to be real careful. So if you read, the judge who made this ruling is extremely smart, knows her history, is a conservative, didn't do this just to thwart Trump. And we need to be real careful about saying rah, rah, everything that just because Trump wants to do it, which I am a Trump supporter, and I am against these, uprisings against these things, but we have to be real careful. So I'm going to save the most important thing for last. But in Portland, the height of the problems came in June and July. And so the judge was saying, if you wanted to call out the National Guard troops, it probably should have been then. Timing is important. That we do have to take into account what happens when more troops are put in there. And these are her lesser arguments. Would incite more riots, and we have to look at the public interest. That we're encroaching upon Oregon's policing power. It could be argued to be a breach of the 10th Amendment. That when he deployed or wanted to deploy troops to Oregon, unlike he did in other places, he did not put a time limit or an exact explanation of why they were going. So a clarification of the time and the exact purpose. That the president's words himself matter when they're coming down with this ruling. And if you read the president, a lot of his words are not just about protecting federal property and helping immigration officers, do their federal duty. He does talk about just law and order in these specific towns. And so she points that out, and it's very true that the federal government, I'll go over some of this a little bit later, that the president's word matters, and also the governor and the state's invitation matter. But the big thing is, if you look at Article 10, and I'm also very familiar with the Insurrection Act, but if the president wants to use his powers, it's got to be an invasion of a foreign nation. That's number one, and that doesn't meet that threshold. If it's a rebellion, number two, it's got to be violent and armed. Number one, it's got to be organized. It's got to be open and avowed, and it's got to be against the government as a whole, not just one type of independent issue. It's got to be trying to overthrow the whole government. Now, when I look at this, if we were to have had judges like this on the January 6th insurrection, those people never would have been prosecuted like they were, because it wasn't violent and armed. Okay, there was nobody pulled a gun on the insurrectionist side and started shooting people up. You could definitely debate if it was organized or not. It wasn't. It had to be a clear, open, and avowed purpose of overthrowing the whole government. And I don't think anybody in there thought they were going to overthrow the government. They wanted their voices heard. So some of the kickback when I presented on this is, well, if the Democrats don't have to play by these rules, why are we handcuffing ourselves? And that's a good argument for that. So, but I don't think it meets that nexus. And number three, to execute federal law or protect federal property that are unable with regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. So if you can't do it with regular forces, then that gives you the nexus to be able to do it. So we've got a lot of thresholds here. So in the Portland example, as of earlier this week, if you read the details of what the judge had said, the protests were down from hundreds of people down to 10 to 20 a night, possibly. They definitely weren't violent of people getting killed or shot. It's a big difference than LA or Chicago. And I think her whole argument is a great educational opportunity, because she does know the differences on how you call out the National Guard. And she understands that we want to preserve federalism and local policing. Now, if the nexus is raised, and if Portland does get more fiery, and the local police, which I saw a report today, are not supporting local law enforcement, enforcing that, and allowing them to attack federal officers, that is a different story. But at the time the judge came out with her ruling, that was not happening right then and there. The difference with Chicago is this. In Portland and Oregon, the governor and the mayor don't want the feds out. There's some grumbling from the police that, hey, maybe we do need them out. In Chicago and Illinois, it's almost an open war, because words matter, and the governor and the mayor of Chicago, I believe, are coming out and saying we are actually going to thwart the ability of the federal government from enforcing federal law. So that, to me, crosses the nexus of when you can and can't send federal troops. But I do think Trump needs an education on the Constitution. I do not think we want to willy-nilly just send troops wherever there is local law enforcement problems that, yes, the federal government can clear up. But this is what America was founded on, is local policing. And we do not want to throw that away because of our ignorance in understanding presidential powers, emergency powers, which have been abused and overused for the last couple decades, especially within the last decade, that we as conservatives need to think carefully about this. And federalism allows people to stew in their own juices as long as the federal government can enforce their laws. As soon as a state or a mayor says they are going to thwart that federal ability, just like in Lincoln's case, no, we're going to take your fort and we're not going to allow you to collect impost and ex post taxes. That is a nexus to send troops. And the state of Illinois may be there. Other than that, we should be careful. There's ways not to run it up the middle. You can have surges with FBI agents, DEA agents, ICE agents, and other ways to do it other than the National Guard. And even if you had to take FBI agents from around the country and have a surge in Portland, it is a much better way to skin the cat than breaching centuries of American tradition. So there it is.
Let me be the devil's advocate, Jeff.
Yeah.
So let me read Article 10, section, I think it's paragraph 252, which
Yep.
is the use of militia and armed forces to enforce federal authority. Whenever the president considers the unlawful obstructions, combinations, or assemblages, or rebellion against, these are all ors, or rebellion against the authority of the United States, make it impracticable to enforce the laws, the ordinary course of judicial proceedings, he may call into federal service such of the militia of any state and use such of the armed forces as he considers necessary to enforce those laws. Now, the point I wanted to make was, according to all the witnesses at the Antifa panel yesterday, these were journalists that were on the ground in Portland, the Portland police have never enforced the law there, and they continue not to enforce the law there. They've continually.
Antifa beats journalists. Antifa attacks our police stations. They attack our courthouses. They dox our law enforcement officers. No more. They are a terrorist group, and we are coming after them.
We are here at the White House today to unmask Antifa, to follow the money all the way to the top. If you want to get to the bottom of who is fomenting this chaos and violence in our country, you must follow the money.
I was a mainstream reporter in Seattle for 10 years before I quit mainstream media, in part due to its refusal to acknowledge the dangers of Antifa and radical left-wing violence.
Part of the problem that we have is that a lot of people refuse to believe that Antifa is real. It is just a made-up thing, but I have seen them. They are real, they are dangerous, and they are violent.
They are an organized, systemic, international criminal enterprise. And what the FBI is going to do is trace the money, follow the funds, and find every single person that was involved in funding the riots and the violent acts of criminality that they are perpetrating on our street.
I've watched Antifa brutally beat, harass, and threaten Americans in the street, but all of that ends with the Trump administration.
I was brutally attacked and almost killed by Antifa in the streets of Seattle. All of my colleagues have been attacked. I can't think of a single one who hasn't. Violence against journalists and police officers in our streets can't stand.
Just days ago, I was in the Portland jailhouse, and now I'm in the White House. This administration is built different, and Antifa's days are numbered.
And I want to thank President Donald Trump for designating Antifa a terrorist organization, and I'm looking forward to the FBI and the DOJ hunting down these people like the terrorists that they are.
All I gotta say, it's a bad day to be Antifa.
And Antifa's days of using violence and intimidation against their political opposition are over.
And I've continued to report on them over the years, despite the threats of violence and actual violence that's happened, because I owe a thank you to this country, the United States, for settling my parents who were victims of communism in Vietnam.
1 month ago, Charlie Kirk was murdered by a violent leftist. We all saw it, and we all saw thousands of leftists celebrate it. Antifa symbols were found on the bullet casings of the gun used to shoot and kill my friend.
We won't take it anymore. President Trump is not going to stand for it. And I'm so grateful that we have a leader in the White House that understands how we need to fight these sophisticated networks and how we need to take these terrorists out.
I've been attacked by Antifa, doxxed by Antifa, harassed by Antifa, but we're not standing down. We're now coming for you.
They haven't been doing their job and never have since Antifa's been there. They don't do anything to them. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of suspicion that they're colluding with Antifa. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, that's just my comment. I'd like to hear everybody else chime in now.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
let
going
me
to be
just.
my
Yo,
that
go
was going to
ahead.
be my
Yeah.
comment that what Jeff said about if the local police are unable to control the situation, then you can bring in the militia. But what if the local police don't want to control the
Is
situation?
what they're doing.
Which was what it seems like to me.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's a disability, whether it's voluntary or involuntary.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion would be if it's their unwillingness to police locally, then that's a local problem. But if it's an unwillingness to police and help when there's problems with federal agents, then that's another issue. Because go ahead, Ken.
And that's where I think this will hinge, is if he's using National Guard or surges from FBI, other federal agencies to defend federal agents trying to do their job in a state. I think he will prevail. If he's just trying to insert the National Guard under his call to fill in gaps where local and state law enforcement are not doing their job away from federal facilities or federal purposes. I think the laws that you were reading, Don, refer to kind of the fourth point that Jeff referenced in Article 10, which is if it's to protect federal facilities and or purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's going on around there? There some of these journalists that, like I said, that were witnesses yesterday in this panel, they said that the Antifa had they have a halfway house about a half a block down the street from one of the ICE headquarters, and they go down there and assemble, and they run a 24-hour shift of people coming out to mess with people and the ICE agents and attack them in various ways. It's very interesting. They're not. They're kind of subtle about what they're doing, but they're not subtle. Okay, they're very sneaky, and so I really think now all that judge offered was a temporary restraining order, right? She hasn't made it. So
2 weeks. That's all to be more considered. Yeah. But
I think you're going to find that even the Ninth Circuit is going to overrule her and allow the National Guard to go in there and protect those ICE agents. And they're going to clean up that area around there because there's more going on there than what people are talking about. And especially the mainstream media, because they don't want to cover any of it.
Well, the other issue I texted James T. Harris about because he didn't like my opinion at all. And I don't think his listeners did. But look, we think very favorably of what Lincoln did. And he certainly crossed constitutional thresholds on many issues. And we're soft with him because he saved the Union. And if we really think this is an existential threat to the Union and we just need to take back over because of the ways that they're finding to try to destroy the Union, then maybe that will go lightly. But it is in modern days you can just see the different Rubicons that have been crossed, and most of them have been done by the Democrats. I mean, it's a fact. But are we going to have to cross some ourselves to take back territory and disallow them to do things that are also unlawful and unconstitutional? What's a higher priority? But I just want us going into it with our eyes wide open. Once you open cans like this, can another president come in and do the same thing and find excuses? All I'm saying is that the founders were very concerned about a standing army that could come out and be called out for the president for less than existential crisis that couldn't be handled locally. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, yeah.
We better be sure.
And that's and I think that's that's a great synopsis, Jeff, and a great point. But I do believe
I'll let you guys beat me up when I'm gone.
No.
I think
we're going to beat you up right now.
Yeah.
I actually believe we're kind of in uncharted territory in the country because we've got this group called Antifa, and there are some others, the Socialist Democrats, that are part of this.
Is there actually an organization, Antifa?
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
is that just a name that?
No,
a variety of.
It's an organization, and one of the things one of these journalists said was that she found out is that these Antifa is actually funding some of their effort through money that was supposed to go to the homeless in these states, in these blue states. They have found some way to take some of their money and use it to act on. But yeah, it is actually a group all over the United States. But I said, Ken, they're very sneaky about how they do things, and they're very quiet about it. But
I mean,
they are organized.
Are they organized as a
Yeah.
nonprofit, like a 501c3? Or are they
No.
organized as an LLC? Are they?
No, completely illegal. There's nothing legal.
Guys, I got to run. Love you all, and grateful
You
for
too.
the opportunity.
Jeff, take care. So yeah, they're not using any of the existing ways to form an organization or anything like that. They're completely underground, and they work that way, and they shuffle it, and they said they travel between Seattle and Portland, changing places, exchanging stuff, doing different things. So and they plan these things out, and they love going and instigating peaceful demonstrations by getting in. And there was always suspicion that there were some Antifa people at the January 6th thing wearing MAGA stuff, right? And
Yeah, I've seen videos of people changing clothes.
Yeah. So that's always been suspect. So anyway, you have my point was you have this stuff going on all over the country, and worse in other places than like Chicago and Portland, and we're kind of in different times. We're having to react to this terrorist group, a named terrorist group now, which kind of puts a different picture on that whole thing. And also one of the things that happened yesterday, Ken, when you talk about Marco Rubio, he's going to go international. He's going to declare Antifa an international terrorist because they're over in Europe too. They're working over in Europe too, and there's European money coming to the Antifa over here. So they're going to do that, and to me, that's all a different ballgame. In order to clean up something like that, with the Portland police who won't enforce the law, they won't protect the journalists that are around that area. They don't protect people. People are being assaulted by Antifa, and they don't protect the people they arrest. The one journalist they arrested last week saved that American flag, and they beat him up, and the police arrested him, kept him in jail all night. And he still wasn't ever told why he was in jail that night. So, and he brought that flag to the meeting yesterday. So, pretty interesting. But anyway, more comments. I don't know if Zack's still on or not. I think we lost his signal, but you guys go ahead.
Well, I'm still here.
His video's
okay.
off.
Sorry, Zack.
He's still here.
He's got his phone in his pocket.
Yeah, I had to put it in my pocket because I passed 2 state troopers.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Good job, Zack. So any comment, Zack? Do you want to comment on the Insurrection Act?
Well, I think this is just me having been in law enforcement for a long time and watching how the political reaction and the media and everything works. I think Trump is setting the stage for something.
That sounds good.
And he's allowing these people and hinting to Johnson and Pritzker that they could go to jail. Well, if you read 252 and 253, they've already qualified. But I think what he's got in his crosshairs is all sanctuary cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
And I think he's going to do it in such a way that he can include the jihadists. Now, recently they exposed two of the main financiers of Antifa. Brack, or whatever his name was, fled to Spain within an hour. The other one, they don't know where he is, but he went underground. When they start outing these people, what do you have? A conspiracy, right?
Yep.
There's no statute of limitations on a conspiracy.
Right. Yeah, which we've talked about before. Yeah.
There's no statute of limitations on treason.
Yeah.
So I see Trump setting the stage to cast a broader net into the people that have been doing treasonous acts and conspiring against the government over time.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for somebody like Comey to charge him with lying when he's been in a treasonous conspiracy. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I think they're setting Comey. I think they're hoping Comey is going to spill the beans on somebody. He's going to make a deal to get out of whatever he's in, just to get him scared.
Remember, I said he would be the one to fold first.
Yeah, and that was Ken Bennett's. Yeah, Ken said he'd be the one that spilled the beans.
But no, I think Zack makes a good point. But aren't there situations, Zack, in law enforcement, especially in your career, where you charge for some smaller stuff in order to get to some bigger stuff?
Oh yeah. The U.S. attorney in the district where a crime normally is the one that makes the decision whether or not to prosecute or to try to use it as a stepping stone to catch larger fish. Yeah, that's standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
However, I'll give you an example of when politics intervene. We caught a smuggling operation in Nogales that was run by Tyson Chicken out of Georgia. We caught the smuggler. He was going into Mexico and recruiting people to go to Georgia to work in Tyson Chicken. They had to provide a photograph and their biographical information, send it to Georgia. They provided the false documents, came to the border, sent a letter to the people in Mexico, told them when to come to the border, and this little kid went around to the park with a booklet with the pictures of the people he was supposed to pick up, smuggle into the United States, and take to Georgia to work for Tyson Chicken.
Wow.
The entire conspiracy took place in the Southern District of Arizona. I was the arresting officer. The trial was held in Georgia, in the district where Tyson Chicken is located, and the arresting officer was not called to testify. That's how you can tell when politics intervenes.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the fire, the firebug. You heard they caught the firebug for the Palisades fire, right?
In Florida.
Well, they caught one of them.
Yeah, he moved. Yeah, one of them. He moved to Florida. Yeah, so we got him down here, but they're going to ship him to California to try him because that's where he committed the crime. So, yeah,
I have to excuse myself for 1 second.
Go ahead, Ken. So, yeah, I think you're right, Zack. I think we're looking at something bigger here.
Way bigger.
Yeah, and I have this feeling that we're going to see more and more of this. But if you listen to all those people yesterday that were at that Antifa panel and all the information that they talked about, and they brought documented information with them. And Trump was handing that stuff out to everybody, saying, give that to so-and-so, give that to Cash, give that to Pam Bondi. Pam, look into that, look into this, Cash, take a look at that. We need to know about that. So, I mean, he was handing out assignments left and right during that panel. So it was pretty obvious that they're putting together something much bigger than what we know. So I think you're exactly right.
Well, I think that little get together around the room was eye candy. I think the decision and the plan's been in place for a long time.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, I just think it was an opportunity to gather a lot of new information and data and some facts about how these people operate that we may not know about.
Right.
So,
They're prepping the public for this stuff to go further public.
yeah. Yeah. And they weren't quite ready. They said they had a pretty good lead on all the financial help they were getting and the money going to them, but they didn't want to. They held back from really giving too many details about that. So, yeah, they've been planning for a while. I agree with you. Yeah. Comments, Paul?
Well, no, not really. You guys got it pretty well covered. It's just I keep waiting for the other shoe to fall, and I'm not holding my breath anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
But the news when it happens will be good. I have a feeling like Zack is saying that they're just letting the fumes. It's like propane when you open the valve on the propane, it falls to the floor and then it spreads all through the house until it hits
Before
the
it gets
spark.
to the spark, right? Yeah.
And that's what they're doing right now. They've opened the valve and they're just letting it flow between people's feet. And
Did you guys ever see the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
You remember at the end of the movie, he went after the senator still, and the senator says, "Are you out of your mind?" He says, "I'm a United States senator," and Mark Wahlberg replies, "Exactly." Shoots him through the head, right? And then he pops the propane gas valve and walks out of the house, and the whole cabin blows up when he gets about 50 yards down the road. So,
hold it, just a minute. Hold it. You out of your mind? You out of your damn mind? I am a United States senator.
Exactly.
what we're planning to do here? Are we got a big operation going on that we're not seeing everything like Zack says, which I think he's got a good point. But anything else you'd like to add?
Zack Taylor, the more I listen to Zack Taylor, the more I think he's right on. So
yeah,
I am a oversimplistic, naive guy who thinks the best of everybody else, including my enemies, and Zack is much wiser and knows better. So,
well, it helps to have that good law enforcement background, right? For 20 or 30 years. Yeah. I mean, he was a fish and game guy before he was a border patrolman. So he was after those Florida hunters that were breaking the law.
Well, I'll just give you a hint about that. I was recruited to go to a county they had run the last 3 game wardens out of to get a hold of the problem and solve it.
Good job. And were you successful?
In Arizona or where?
It was in Florida. It took 3 years.
Florida.
And it caused such a stir in the courts. There hadn't been a game violation case tried in the county for 7 years. The second term of court I was there, we had 7. Convicted all of them.
Well, that's why the judge was there, right?
That's why I was sent there. I was actually recruited at the request of the good people of that county and members of a certain law firm who were cattle ranchers in the area that were having losing some cows. Let's put it that way.
There you go. So were you leaving the Ocala National Forest or going to it?
I had the north end of it. I had all of Putnam County and the north end and a little bit of Lake County.
Okay. Which is a big county, by the way.
How many
Lake is a
counties
big
in
county.
Florida? Do they have?
How many? I
Well-
think there's 60. There are about 60, aren't there, Zach?
67.
More? 67, yeah. Yeah. A lot of counties.
Yeah, Liberty
Yeah.
County was the smallest. Flagler County used to be really small. It was number 61. Jacksonville was number 2, Duval County. Dade County was number 1.
Dade is the Miami area.
Right.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
call
that's
it
the
the great-
Miami area.
The great state of Dade.
Yeah.
Like the great state of Maricopa.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. They caught
Very-
this fire.
very
This
similar.
firebug was in Brevard County. So around Melbourne, he was near Melbourne. I guess his parents lived in Melbourne. I don't know. Weird guy. He was watching they got on his phone. He was actually watching the fire burn and watching a video of a fire burn on his phone of some movie that he liked. So, but it's going to be interesting to see who else they snap up in their net, because they sound like there's more people involved. That's what I heard.
They ought to just drop him off at the homeless shelter
And he lived in Palisades. Was an Uber driver, right? You know, and this guy, the guys that arrested him, they said, sometimes people are just evil. You just can't explain why they do the things they do. And we've talked about that before on a couple of shows about evil people, right, guys?
I want to interject something here.
Go ahead.
I remember talking to 2 people that were in the we're not here, nobody knows our name business. And they said that there was something that was developed in Japan in the 1980s where they could add subliminal messages in a television program that could influence behavior but was not visible to the person watching the show.
I watched a documentary about that one several years back, where they could, there's so many frames that pass every second in a typical, video or movie or whatever, and you could add a certain number of images that would not be picked up by the conscious mind, but your subconscious mind would see it. And they could make people go to the bathroom. They could make people hungry and get up and go eat. They could, who knows? And if you can do that, who knows what you might be able to make people do?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, the example I saw was in movie theaters where they would encourage people to go buy Coke and popcorn.
Yeah. You make them hungry to go buy, because that's where movie theaters make their money. They don't make money on the movies. They make their money on the concession stands.
Right. But that was the example that was given.
Yeah.
Well, they used to have it. You remember the old drive-in where they had the break. Remember the commercial at the break? Let's go to whatever you call it, the song, right? And the
Mhm.
dancing popcorn box and the and the candy bar with legs. That was pretty. That wasn't.
That was
that
the
wasn't
conscious. That was the
right.
conscious
Yeah.
advertising.
Yeah,
Zach's talking
not,
about the
not very
subconscious.
subtle. Not very subtle. Yeah. Oh, I think that's entirely possible. I have no doubt that they've gotten very sophisticated about doing that in this day and age with our television programs. So no doubt about it. Well, guys, we're nearing our time here. Anybody want to add anything or any other subject real quick that you want to mention? Anything going on in your area? Again, I'm really surprised that Schweiker put his name in the governor's race in Arizona. I just can't figure that out.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. And Ken doesn't think it makes any sense either. And yeah, it's just weird. And I just heard that today. Did that just come out today?
I guess so. I heard it.
He announced Schweiker. He entered the race a week ago.
Oh, a week ago. Okay. Well, I just heard it today. So yeah. Okay. Well, okay.
I got an email that said Letitia James had been indicted, and then the guy that sent the email had video clip after video clip of CBS and ABC and MSNBC all singing the same song. The president, it's personal vendetta.
Oh yeah, sure.
And this is a personal vendetta against a woman who ran her whole campaign on putting Trump in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
And now she says, "Well, why are you picking on me?"
Yeah, she was the definition of vendetta. She ran saying that she was going to get Trump, and then
yeah. Well, she got indicted on mortgage fraud, and you know who else is guilty of mortgage fraud, right?
Mr. Schiff.
Adam
Mr.
Schiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one I want to see. Schiff. I want to see him got, or whatever the word is, and I want to see him go. I want him to go after Mayorkas.
Oh,
I think Mayorkas ought to be in jail for treason, breaking United States immigration laws.
I think that's a historical event.
Yeah.
I think it's already happened.
Yeah, well, I hope so, because that guy is evil. I haven't heard anything where he's been, what he's been doing, anything. So, man, that guy was really something.
I forgot to remind Jeff to explore military commissions, military tribunals, and how JAG operates in martial law.
I'll send him a note, Zach.
I won't be back till the 20th.
Right. And you're going to be busy with your shooting thing. So yeah, I'll send him a little note and remind him and get his view on some of that stuff. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just also saw some breaking news that came on my phone that the U.S. is sending.
I can't figure out.
Go ahead.
I gotta leave. Yeah. I'm in traffic.
Oh, okay.
U.S. is breaking news. U.S. is sending about 200 troops to Israel to help support and monitor the ceasefire deal in Gaza. So we'll see how that works.
Oh, okay. There you go. Probably Marines, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looks like Zach's dropping off. So anyway, thanks, Ken. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Jeff. Left us already for joining us. Thanks, everybody. We've enjoyed this first year, and maybe we'll do this for another year. We'll see. But as long as you guys hold up, I'm good to go. So,
all right, I'm going to be in Las Vegas next Thursday.
Oh yeah, you're going to be on your trip, right? Well, call in if you can, Paul.
I will.
If you're partying too much, forget it. But if you're winning at the slots, don't bother.
Don't leave.
Yeah. And remember, you still got that bet on with Jeff, so we haven't got Obama charged yet. So
yeah.
Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks everybody for joining us. 4 Men in America says goodnight. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Amen.
If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better.